The ancient Stoics didn't just write books. They wrote blueprints for how to live. Their words were forged in hardship, tested in war, and refined through silence. They didn't seek fame or followers. They sought mastery, over fear, over anger, over themselves. And while the world has changed, the battle within the human mind has not. The same questions that haunted emperors, slaves, and senators 2,000 years ago still echo in us today. These are 5 books from the masters of Stoicism, Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius, men who learned that the true kingdom is the one within. First, Epictetus. The Discourses. Epictetus began his life in chains. Born a slave in the Roman Empire, he owned nothing, not even his freedom. But through philosophy, he became freer than the men who owned him. The Discourses are records of his teachings, conversations filled with hard truths about control, reason, and virtue. He taught that it isn't life that breaks you, but your judgment of it. What you think, you become. What you control defines your peace. Epictetus believed that suffering is not an obstacle. It's an opportunity, a forge for the soul. To read the Discourses is to stand face to face with your excuses. It doesn't comfort you. It confronts you. And that's exactly why it matters. Second, Epictetus. The Enchiridion. The Handbook. If the Discourses are a mountain of wisdom, then the Enchiridion is the sword you carry up that mountain. It's short, barely a few pages, yet it contains an entire philosophy of life. This was the Stoics' daily manual. Soldiers, generals, and thinkers carried it into battle, into politics, into loss. Inside, Epictetus reminds us that we control nothing but our own mind, that every external event, every insult, every defeat is neutral until we give it meaning. Control what you can, accept what you can't. This is the Stoic creed, and the Enchiridion is its sacred text. It's not a book you finish, it's a book you return to every time the world tempts you to lose control. 3. Seneca. Letters from a Stoic. Seneca lived in a world of luxury, politics, and danger. He was one of the richest men in Rome, and one of its most hated. But in his exile, and in his final years, he turned to writing letters to his friend, Lucilius. These letters became one of the most powerful guides to self-mastery ever written. They are honest, reflective, and deeply human. Seneca teaches us to use time wisely, because time is the one thing we can never reclaim. He writes that life isn't short. We just waste most of it. And when you realize this, you begin to live differently. Letters from a Stoic is not just about philosophy. It's about friendship, mortality, and learning how to endure yourself. Each letter feels like advice from an older, wiser version of you. The voice that speaks when the world goes silent. 4. Seneca, On the Shortness of Life. If you only read one work from Seneca, make it this one. On the Shortness of Life is less than 30 pages, but it might haunt you for life. He writes, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." He exposes how most people die before they ever learn how to live. Seneca pushes you to examine how you spend your days, not in grand gestures, but in the little things. How you react, how you think, how you speak. He reminds us that death isn't in the future, it's happening right now, every moment that passes unused. But there's beauty in that truth, because awareness of death is what makes life meaningful. Reading On the Shortness of Life isn't comfortable. It's supposed to hurt, because growth always does. 5. Marcus Aurelius. Meditations. Marcus Aurelius ruled the most powerful empire in history. He commanded armies, shaped laws, and carried the weight of millions. And yet, at night, he wrote in private. Not about victory, but about virtue. Meditations was never meant to be published. It was Marcus speaking to himself, questioning his ego, calming his anger, reminding himself to stay humble. He wrote while surrounded by chaos, war, plague, betrayal. But he never let the world outside him shake the world within him. Each page feels like a whispered reminder from a mentor. Don't waste time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Meditations is not a book you read. It's a book that reads you. It holds a mirror to your discipline, your fears, and your excuses. And if you listen closely, you realize that the emperor wasn't writing for himself. He was writing for you. The words of Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius are not relics. They are weapons for the modern mind. They remind us that discipline is freedom, that reason is strength, and that wisdom is the true armor of a man. If you want to explore Marcus Aurelius's philosophy further, not just by reading it, but by living it, you'll find more information in the description below about a guided 30-day Stoic journal we've created to help you apply his teachings in daily life. Take a few minutes each day, reflect, write, grow. Philosophy was never meant to stay on paper. It was meant to transform you.